Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Hump Day or Dump Day here on Life Crystallized, where I typically use the cards to help you decide if this week for you and your significant other will be a hump day or a dump day. But today we're going to do a little something different. Now, if you watched yesterday's Tarot Tuesday video, then you know we talked about life's purpose and what's holding you back from finding or discovering and living your life's purpose. Now today's video ties into yesterday's video, and I will leave a link at the end of this video to the Tarot Tuesday video where we talk about what's holding you back from discovering your life's purpose. But today we're going to talk about what your life's purpose is. So it's going to be the usual pick a card reading that we do on Wednesdays. But instead of finding out if this week for you and your significant other will be a hump day or dump day, we're going to talk about whether or not this week for you in your current profession will be a hump day or a dump day. So are you currently in a profession, in a job that aligns with your life purpose? Or is it time to make a change? Now, the cards that we have to choose from this week are Snowflake Obsidian, Red Coral, Ruby, and Orange Agate. So, before we get started, let's go ahead and take our centering breaths, breathing in for a count of 3, holding it for 3, and then exhaling for 6. So, take a deep breath in, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try it again, and let's see if I can get the steps right this time. So, take a deep breath in for 1, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can repeat that as many times as you feel necessary. Pause the video if you need to. And when you are ready, go ahead and choose the card that resonates with you. So, is it Snowflake Obsidian, Red Coral, Ruby, or Orange Agate? Once you are ready and you have chosen your card, you can go ahead and look in the description box or the show notes and find the segment of this video where the message for that group is. So, we're going to go ahead and get started with the Snowflake Obsidian group. If you chose Snowflake Obsidian, this message is for you. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is what your gifts are. So, what are your spiritual gifts? What are your material gifts or your physical gifts? How can you combine those two gifts, and also how can you use those gifts to help others? So we've got 4 cards that we're going to talk about, and the first one is, what are your spiritual gifts? And you guys have the Knight of Swords. So this knight is a messenger. This knight is bringing news or bringing some sort of message that relates to the way you think. It relates to your intellect, your mind. So you're gift, your spiritual gift, your God-given gift relates to helping other people understand concrete topics or concrete subjects. So, excuse me while I sip my tea here. So, your spiritual gifts relates to helping people understand things that they make sense to you, and it may have to do with like really kind of more concrete or intellectual topics like science or philosophy or something like that. But it can also relate to just really like how to do things. But again, whatever this is, that you guys are really just good at breaking things down in a way that people understand. So you're able to deliver that structured, intellectual, like thinking, like the maths and sciences, like that sort of thing that people tend to look at as difficult subjects or difficult concepts to understand. Your spiritual gifts are really helping people to understand those concepts. So whether it's teaching or something like that, and it doesn't have to be teaching, but whatever this is that you guys are being called to do, it relates to breaking down those difficult subjects and explaining them to people in a way that they're able to understand. Because these things come naturally to you, but it's easy for you to explain it to other people. What are your physical or material gifts? You guys have Two of Wands. So you guys are able to take this information, process this information, these concepts that may be more intellectual, a little bit more difficult and complicated to understand. And you guys are able to really patiently process these concepts and transmit that information to other people. I feel like your physical, your material, your gifts that really are helping you in this realm relate to your patience, your ability to take that time. If you look at the figure in the Two of Wands, it looks like she's just kind of hanging out waiting for her ship to come in. So she knows that her bounty, her resources, her joy, whatever it is that she is waiting on, she knows that it's coming. And she doesn't have to do anything. She can just stand out on her balcony and enjoy the view. And that is a gift that you guys have. You guys are able to patiently process this information that really comes easily for you to understand, and you guys are able to patiently work with other people to help them understand it. So, how can you combine these two gifts? How can you bring them together? And we've got Ace of Cups reversed. So the cup suit is all about emotions, right? It has to deal with our feelings. And you guys have the Ace of Cups reversed. So all those feelings, all those emotions are being emptied out of that cup. So in order for you guys to combine these gifts of being able to understand these difficult concepts and being able to bring those messages, transmit that information to other people, and do so in a patient and just kind of relaxed way. You guys have to take the emotion out of it. So you guys have to lean on that patience, lean on that ability to wait, and really not get your emotions. Don't let anger or frustration interfere with your ability to transmit this information to other people. And how can you use these gifts that you've been given to help others? Because living your life's purpose is all about serving others, right? What is it that you have been placed here to do for the good of many? Not just for your satisfaction or your joy, but what have you been sent here to do in order to live a life of service to God, the divine goddess, source, and the gifts that you have been blessed with, and also to serve others with those gifts. And you've got the Fool reversed. So, really, you can help others by being that voice of reason, right? So again, you guys really are good with understanding these kind of concrete, complex subjects or areas. And the way that your mind works is very structured and logical. So you guys are not only able to help other people understand these more intellectual, these higher level concepts, but you guys are also able to bring to the table and to get people to see where, like, what information they may be missing. So rather than sit back and watch people make impulsive decisions and kind of leap into things blindly and naively, you guys are able to be that voice of reason, and you guys are able to get them to think about the big picture and the little picture, and just really think about all aspects of the decision that they're about to make before before they make that leap. So you guys can use your gifts to help people make the best choices, or choices that are in their greatest and highest good. And that is where you guys should be focusing your energy. Now that we have all your gifts and how to use them, what is your life's purpose? So what fields might you guys be called to serve in? And you have the locket, the moon, and the sun. So you guys are really, whatever field this is, whatever area you guys decide to focus on, it's most likely going to be something, some field or profession that is really going to illuminate, and that is that sun, illuminate the darkness, right? That is the moon. So you guys are going to bring focus and clarity. You guys are going to shed light on things that are laying hidden. You guys are going to be that dawn after the darkness. You guys are really going to be in some kind of field, some kind of profession where you are that sun for people. You are that bright light. You are that beacon of hope, of clarity, of understanding. You guys are the sun that is going to illuminate whatever it is that may be hidden under the surface for them. So this may be a profession, some kind of teaching field, some kind of teaching profession. It can also be some sort of like counseling where you're getting people to look at things and think about things and their circumstances and how they're contributing to their circumstances, and ultimately shed light on things that they're missing, things that are lying beneath the surface. So it's some kind of field that is going to help people either learn by teaching or understand by some sort of counseling or something like that, in order for them to make the best decisions in their life. All right, now red coral. If you chose red coral, this is a message for you. Now, we're going to start with your gifts. So, before we talk about what your life's purpose is, let's talk about what your gifts are. What are your spiritual gifts? What are your physical or material gifts? How can you combine those two gifts? And finally, how can you serve others? How can you help others with those gifts? And your spiritual gifts, 5 of Wands. So, you guys are able to kind of cut through the confusion that many people face. So this battle, this fight that people may be going through or facing, you are able to step in and bring peace and order to chaotic situations. So your spiritual gifts is really being able to bring order, bring clarity to confusing situations. And what are your physical or material gifts? You've got Queen of Wands reversed. So the Queen of Wands is all about action. Being adventurous and bold, and really just taking those steps to get what she wants, achieve her goals. And you guys are able to not only bring clarity to chaos with your spiritual gifts, but your physical material gifts really allows you guys to act on those so you guys are able to take action on like bringing those things to order. So when you guys see chaos, when you guys see confusion, you're not the type to just stand back and let people continue to fight. You're not the type to stand back and just let chaos ensue. You guys are the type of people to step in and really like come in with a plan, a course of action, a way to untangle the webs that people are weaving by not being organized, by not planning, by not anticipating the problems and the pitfalls of their current course of action. How can you bring these two gifts together? And you guys have the High Priestess reversed. So you guys really are able to tap into your intuition. You guys are able to tap into Source, God, the divine, and those messages that you are receiving in order to create calm and order in the midst of chaos. So how can you use these gifts, this combination, to help other people? And you got Eight of Swords reversed. So this confusion, when you guys are in these situations and you're watching people argue and bicker, when you're watching no progress being made because everybody's all over the place, no one is working together in order to reach a common goal, you guys are able to step in with a plan that like sorts everything out. And in doing so, the way you're serving other people is really by freeing them. If we look at the figure in the Eight of Swords, she is bound and she's like encircled by 8 swords. But she can take those binds off and she can walk out of that circle of swords. What you guys are able to do is come in with your plan. You guys are able to come in and see the bigger picture, see the pitfalls, see the dangers, and make order out of that, and ultimately free people who are really just too caught up in that chaos, in that confusion, to see the way out. You guys are able to bring them that understanding, to bring them that plan, to explain what the course of action is that is going to ultimately help them to break free of those binds and walk out of that cage that really is not holding them. They just need to see how to get out. And that's where your gifts come in. So now that you know where your gifts are, where they lie, what area, profession, field would help you serve and use the gifts that you have been given. And you have the House, the Clover, and the Ship. So you guys really are going to be in some sort of field where you are really bringing kind of like that security, and it could be like real estate or something like that, something to do with the house or the home. But again, you guys are really providing people with a plan. So if, say it's like a realtor or something like that, you guys are really able to step in and give people a plan. If we're talking about real estate, you guys are coming in and really bringing that plan, bringing that order that potential home buyers need. That whole process of purchasing or even selling a home is rife with so many twists and turns. But you guys are able to come in and help your clients navigate those twists and turns. You guys are able to come in and give them a clear plan, a clear course of action to purchasing or selling their home. You guys are able to, it could be a travel agent or something like that. Again, with all the options of flights and hotels and transportation and all of the things that go into planning a vacation or a trip, you guys are able to come in and provide your clients with a clear plan, a clear course of action. You guys are able to navigate the cheapest flights or the best hotel rooms and rates and all of these components that are really kind of separate entities, but they have to come together. You guys are able to come in and sort out all of the riffraff and come up with the clear plan, the plan that is in your client's best interest. So, again, whatever field this is that you guys are in or being drawn to, you're going to bring people a plan, a course of action that is going to help them get out of situations where they're feeling trapped, they're feeling lost, they're feeling confused. And that is how you guys can use your gifts to serve others. So, if this message resonated with you, if you found it helpful, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Life Crystallized on YouTube. Or if you're listening to the podcast, then be sure to leave a 5-star review in iTunes or wherever it is you're listening to your podcast so that more people can find me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next week for another episode of Hump Day or Dump Day here on Life Crystallized. All right, moving on to Ruby. If you guys chose Ruby, then this message is for you. Now, the first things we're going to talk about are your gifts. So, what are your spiritual gifts? What are your physical or material gifts? How can you combine those gifts in order to ultimately serve others? For your spiritual gifts, you guys have Justice Reverse. So, you guys are able to see things and really figure out what solution is in everyone's best interest. So you guys are really able to kind of be that judge and decide fairly how things should work, how things should play out. And that is the gift that you guys have been blessed with spiritually. So how do you guys combine that gift of being able to navigate and decide and really determine what the best, most fair course of action is for all parties involved? Your material, your physical gifts for Pentacles reversed. So this may have to do with money somehow, and you guys are able to really kind of come up with plans or give people guidance or advice on how to conserve their resources, how to use their resources in the best way, in a way that is in their highest good, and that is where this justice may come in. So you guys are able to come in and see, it might be something like financial advisor, where you You're coming in and looking at the income and expenses and seeing what is in their best interest to keep, where they can get rid of things, and ultimately how they can use the resources that they have to serve their needs in the best way possible. How can you combine these gifts? You've got Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is all about really understanding and having a handle on her emotions. So whatever emotions it is, whether it's happiness or sadness, whatever she is feeling, she is able to feel, acknowledge, and process in a way that best serves not only her, but everyone around her. So she is fair and composed in the way she responds to situations that can provoke or induce really strong emotional reactions. And finally, how can you use your gifts to help others? And you have Six of Pentacles reversed. So this Six of Pentacles tying back into that Four of Pentacles, you guys have a lot of pentacle energy, a lot of really earthy material energy in your life's purpose. So you guys are able to, by looking at things and figuring out the best, most fair, most just way of doing things, the best course of action, you guys are actually literally giving people by helping them to find material stability, whether this relates to money or health or whatever area of the material world that you guys are working in. You guys are able to see exactly, again, what needs to stay and what needs to go, what your clients need to keep and what they need to let go of. And by doing that for them, by helping them to do that, you guys really are literally giving them the gift of wealth, of health, of material stability and security, because you guys are able to help them really use the resources that they have in order to achieve their greatest and highest good. So, with that being said, what fields might you guys be called to serve in? What professions might you guys be drawn to? And you've got the snake, the fox, and the lady. So I feel like whatever professions you guys choose, it may have something to do with kind of helping your clients, helping the people that you work with really navigate tricky or difficult situations. And by you, whether it's, so if you guys are like financial advisors, for instance, your role in what you can do with your gifts is to help your clients stay clear of bad financial decisions. Like if your clients are coming to you and like wanting to invest in a certain company, you guys are able to come in and be the judge, that justice that is coming in and saying, no, this is a con, this is a scam, and you're going to lose on this deal. don't do it. You guys are able to use those gifts in order to help people steer clear of deceptive situations that can ultimately harm them. If you guys are in the medical field, you guys are like maybe a nutritionist or something, you guys are able to step in and say, this latest diet pill that's promising to help your patients lose 10 pounds in a week. You guys are able to step in and explain and show your patients why this is a terrible thing, why it won't work, and why even if it did work, it's temporary and it's dangerous. And again, you guys are able to help them see that this pill is a con. It is a trick that is ultimately going to put them in harm's way. So you guys really are being tasked, being called to be that balance, to bring that really, that center to the people that you work with, so that they can ultimately be their best selves, whether it's financially or in their health or whatever material aspect that you guys are working with them in. You guys are really here to help people really live their own best lives. You're here to help people use what they have so that they can be the best version of themselves. You guys are here to help them steer clear of all the things, all the people that are out here to do them harm, to trick them, to deceive them. And that is where your life's purpose lies. So, if you found this message helpful, if this message resonated with you, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Life Crystallized on YouTube. Or if you're listening to this on the podcast, then be sure to leave a 5-star review in iTunes or wherever you're listening to this so that other people can find me. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you back here again next week for another episode of Hump Day or Dump Day. All right. Moving on to Orange Agate. If you chose Orange Agate, this is the message for you. Now we're going to start with your gifts. What are your spiritual gifts? What are your physical gifts or material gifts? How can you combine those gifts to finally serve others? And you guys have the star for your spiritual gifts. So you guys are really able to help people really find peace, help them find balance in their lives. You guys are really able to kind of help them tap into what their desires are so that they can live their best lives. So that is what you guys are able to do spiritually. You guys are really able to kind of be that that guide. You think about the stars and how they serve us as people, right? We use constellations and like the North Star in order to guide and point us in a certain direction, in order to give us a certain frame of reference. And that is what you guys bring to the lives of the people around you. What are your physical and material gifts? 5 of Swords reversed. So you guys are really able to be that beacon and that kind of guiding light in order to help people see situations that are not in their best interest, that are not serving their greatest and highest good. So if we look at the Five of Swords, we've got this figure in the foreground that is kind of taking advantage of the fact that the two figures in the background are not looking to walk away with their resources, right? You guys are able to help people see when they're in situations that are, when they have their backs turned and they're leaving themselves open to be a victim. So how can you combine those two gifts? And you guys have the Hanged One reversed. So you guys are able to use your ability to be a guide. You guys are able to use your ability to bring focus and direction in order to get people to really look at the situations they're in, take a look at how they are putting themselves at risk or in situations that are not serving them. And you guys are able to help them take a pause. You guys are able to help them take a minute to do nothing in order to kind of regroup and decide what the next step is. So, that being said, how can you help others? How can you serve others? And you've got Two of Cups reversed. So you guys are able to come in and be that guide, be that kind of direction, that compass that helps people to see where they need to pay more attention, to help them to be able to see when they need to stop and when they need to be processing and not acting. And by doing that, you guys are helping to restore balance to their lives. You guys are helping them to be able to regroup emotionally and to really start acting from a place of love, from joy and happiness, and not so much out of fear or anger. So you guys, again, just using your ability to kind of be that direction, to be that beacon, to be that guidepost in order to get people to pause, look at what they need to be doing, what direction they need to be going, what steps what corrections they need to be making in order to bring balance and peace into their lives. So, with that being said, what field or what profession might you guys be drawn to in order to use your gifts to serve others? And you have the stork, the fish, and the stars. So, seriously, guys, you guys are able to come in and help people make the changes, that is that stork, that they need to make in order to really have things flow, this fish, and achieve, realize, actualize their dreams, their goals, their aspirations, which is that star. So you guys have a bunch of stars going on in this reading. So you guys definitely are able to use your gifts. So whatever profession you guys are being drawn to or being led to, it is definitely going to be helping people to make changes that bring order and balance and help things flow in their lives so that they can achieve their wildest dreams. So, you guys might be life coaches or spiritual advisors or some sort of field like that where you guys are really helping people sort through all the bull, helping people to really take a deep, hard look at themselves and what it is they need to change in order to live their best lives. So, again, you guys can be like life coaches, spiritual coaches, or advisors. You guys might be like personal trainers or some sort of field that is going to drive or push or help people to make the necessary changes that they need to make in their life in order to find that peace, that balance, that tranquility. So, this is the message that I have for the Orange Agate group. If you found this message helpful, if it resonated with you, then please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Life Crystallized on YouTube. And if you're listening to this in the podcast, then be sure to leave a 5-star review in iTunes or Google or wherever you're listening to this podcast. Again, thank you so much for taking the time out to watch or listen. And I will see you again next week for another episode of Hump Day or Dump Day here on. Bye.